Africa is beginning to see early signs of an economic recovery. That's according to President Cyril Ramaphosa speaking to the nation after hosting the G20 Leaders Summit.
Unemployment is falling and has been recorded as such in recent months. Our public finances are improving, allowing us to steadily reduce our national debt. We have recently seen a sovereign credit rating upgrade.
The economy grew by 0.8% in the second quarter, up from 0.1% in the first. After more than a decade of weak performance, this growth reflects a broad-based recovery across sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing and mining.
Business confidence is also playing a big role, fiscal responsibility and revenue collection. All of this coupled together is the reason why we're seeing some growth.
But Davi cautions that while the signs are positive, growth is still too slow to reach the 3% and above that South Africa needs. The country continues to grapple with high debt levels, slow structural reforms, and geopolitical tensions, particularly with the United States. Although political disagreements have not disrupted trade and remains largely politically contained, he warns that uncertainty around the renewal of AGOA, the trade deal with the US, could weigh on future growth.
It can act as an indirect sanction on South Africa, where every other country can come, where other European countries, manufacturers come invest in Africa, but deliberately not invest in South Africa because they won't get the best deal and sending their goods to the US.
Domestically, while things are starting to look up for households, the era of high interest rates seemingly over and the country on track for lower inflation and more stable borrowing costs, many families still feel real financial strain and confidence in economic growth remains muted. Household spending grew by 0.8% in the second quarter, contributing more than half of overall growth, with positive activity across goods and services.
We're seeing that consumers have more disposable income and their expenses are somewhat increasing, but not to the extent that we've seen in previous years. So there have actually been a lot of positives this year.
But with high debt levels, stagnant salaries, and a stubbornly high cost of living, experts say households will need to adjust their spending carefully. Sherman warns that boosting consumer activity shouldn't come at the cost of rising debt, especially heading into the festive season.
The main goal here is to avoid debt as much as possible, especially during the festive season. And that takes a lot of discipline. It takes planning and budgeting for the festive season and not overspending as much as you possibly can.
Agriculture and manufacturing were major contributors to second quarter growth, alongside trade and mining. Agribiz chief economist Wandile Sihlobo expects agriculture to continue leading in the third quarter, helped by a nationwide vaccination drive to tackle foot and mouth disease, aimed at strengthening the sector and supporting jobs. Statistics South Africa will release the official third quarter GDP numbers on Tuesday. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Ntokozo Khumalo in Johannesburg.